So I have an Immortan Joe makeup tutorial for you guys today. Yeah, that's what this guy is. I love the movie Mad Max, so I had to recreate his like funky looking face mask. So the first thing we were doing is we were taking this NYX nude liner, and I am just sketching out where the mask is going to be. Then I took some foundation mixed with the NYX white foundation mixer and just wanted like my skin to be super pale, so I'm just putting that on the top half of the face. After that, I'm taking my Physicians Formula. It's like the translucent talc-free powder, and I'm just setting that like foundation that I just put on. After that, I'm taking this, these are the NYX micro brows, so I have taupe, brunette, and I have blonde, and I am just starting to sketch in all of the wrinkles all over my face. So I'm basically kind of just following where I would imagine wrinkles to be. So I'm also looking at a reference photo of Immortan Joe's face. So I'm just sketching like a lot on my forehead, on my eyes, like the eye creases underneath my eyes. Immortan Joe's skin is like super gnarly. Like he's not nice skin, so I'm really emphasizing all those wrinkles. I actually wish that I did them a little bit less. But anyway, then I took my white foundation mixer and I added some highlights above the areas where I sketched out the wrinkles. Now for the eyes. So I am taking this NYX lid lingerie in Evening Spell, and I am putting that on my lids. I'm also putting some underneath my lids, and I just wanted my eyes to look like, I wanted them to look fucked up because his eyes look fucked up. So after that, I'm taking my eyeshadow in Noir, and I am just putting that all over the upper part of my eye. I'm also bringing it onto my temples. For my lower lash line, I took the NYX Primal Color in Hot Orange and I threw that on my lower lash line, and then I took the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Noir and I just lined my lower lashes. Once I got done doing that, I took the NYX Jumbo Pencil in White and I just put some of that on my eyebrows, and then I took this red lip liner and I threw that on my waterline, and then I took this Marc Jacobs black eyeliner and I tightlined with it. Now back into them wrinkles. So I'm going into my Naturally Pretty palette and I'm taking the shade Mocha and I am just putting some forehead lines on, really defining them and then blending them in. And then I went back in with my eyebrow pencils and I just started to add some more definition to those wrinkles. So I'm adding a lot of definition to that like eyebrow furrow thing you got going on, and then also the like eye creases. Then I went back in with the white foundation mixer and I added some highlights, and I'm basically doing a combination of just like defining and then highlights, then defining and then highlights. So at this point, I wish I had just kept the like wrinkle level at like this, but I actually went in to add in a little bit more detail, which I think was a little bit too much detail, but y'all know I'm extra. So yeah, I would just keep it at this level if you guys are copying this tutorial. But anyway, then I went in with my Maybelline Lash Discovery and I just added a coat of that to my lashes, and this is where I regret it. So I added the NYX foundation mixer in Deep and I just really like seriously defined all those wrinkles. So it just made it look a little bit unnatural. And it looked a little bit more natural before, but whatever, I still think it looks okay. Then I went in with my NYX nude liner and I started to sketch in all of the details, well, not all the details, but the general like shape and design of the mask that he has going on. So I did, it kind of looks like a skull, honestly. So I did like the top portion of the jaw and the bottom portion, and then I did the teeth and all that, and then I went in with the Mayron Paradise paint in white, and I started to paint in the top half of the mask. By the way, guys, all the products I use, as per usual, are listed down below. point, I started to paint in the lower part of the jaw and also the teeth. Now for some shading. So I took my, the Naturally Pretty palette, and I took the shade Noir, and I started to shade in the, metal of the top part of the mask. So I am just kind of outlining it and then shading it in, going over my nose, and yeah, just adding some definition and details. To get a bit more definition, I started to outline the mask. So I took the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Noir, and I took a little, I don't know what kind of brush this is, but I started to kind of outline the little details. So I added the little line where it separates the top part of the mask, and then that other little part of the metal, and I'm just adding in all the little details of the metal of his mask. And the nails too. So I just took a kind of rounded brush and I dipped it in my Noir eyeshadow, and then it gave me kind of a round shape for the nails. So I am starting to add the definition to his teeth. His teeth are nasty, so I'm taking my Maybelline paint in yellow and I am just starting to add some yellow tones to his teeth. And then I'm going into the, Naturally Pretty palette, and I am taking the shade, I believe, Noir, and I am just starting to outline the chin part of his mask. So I'm also taking some lines down from the teeth and just adding those little definition lines, and I'm also adding some shading. And then I took, I believe, the shade Java, and I started to add in a little bit more depth to that chin area, because that chin area kind of looks like a bone. So I took the shade Philo, and I just dotted that onto my chin with a napkin, and also the white paint. And it gave it that kind of bony effect thing going on. It just gave it some texture there. Then I took the white NYX liquid liner, added some highlights, and then I took my Noir shade again, and I just added some shading to the bottom part of the skull mask. Going back in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Noir, I am just starting to outline the mask some more. And then I took Morocco, and I started to fill in the middle part of the mask. Going back into Java, I started to add in some shading to the middle part of the mask. So where it connects the two jaw parts, I added some shading, and where the mask connects to the middle part, I just added some shading around that, and then also around the teeth and the nose area. And then I took Philo, or whatever this paint's called, and I added some highlights to that area as well. Now I'm going into the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, and I'm taking this dark yellow shade, and I am just starting to add some definition to the teeth. So I'm just adding shading around the teeth, and they're really starting to separate. After that, I went in with the yellow paint, and I just added some of that to the teeth, just again to add some more shading. Then I took the shade Philo, or whatever that's pronounced, and I added some of that to the teeth, so they looked a little bit like they're decaying and stuff. And then I took this NYX Extreme Gold liquid liner, and I added some highlights to the middle part. Also took my Vivid Brights liner and Vivid Halo, added some of that to the teeth for more highlights. And then I took the shade Noir, and I started to kind of define in between the teeth a little bit. Time for more teeth highlights. I took my white liquid liner and I just highlighted the teeth some more with that. Just added some little spots of that white. Alright, so now I am going in and I'm mixing black and white, and I'm just filling in those little hole things that I got going on my cheeks. And then I am taking that black paint. I'm just starting to outline the nose a little bit, like doing the little design he has on his nose. It's kind of like what you would imagine a skull to be. It's kind of like mimicking that. And then I took Noir from the Naturally Pretty palette, started to add some shading into those cheek holes or whatever those things are, and also into the nose design. I wanted to bring some of that like darkness of the mask down onto my neck, so I just took the Noir eyeshadow and I just started to kind of fade that onto my neck, so it looks a little dirty, just not as clean as it did. And then I took some of that Noir and I filled in my nose as well. After that, I took some black paint from Mehron, started to outline the mask and give it some definition. Going back in with Noir, I am just adding some more of that shading into the teeth, so like where the gums would be, of whatever this brown thing is. I don't know what this is, but I guess I kind of just assumed it was like gums or something. And I just added some black in there for shading. Then I took my black paint and I just started to outline the teeth. I also added a bit of an outline to the cheek circles around the mask, and I outlined the nails. So I honestly kind of regret doing this a little bit. I wish I hadn't gone with like a black to outline the nails and that upper part of the mask, but I did, so whoopsie poopsies. But I also went in with my white NYX lip liner and I started to add in some highlights. So I added some to the top part of the mask, to the bottom part, just kind of all over, because this is supposed to be metal, so it would have some like, you know, nice highlights to it. Okay, so now for his hair, I took some of my white Mehron paint and I took like just a big stippling brush and I just added that to my hair to make it like that white color he has. I didn't like buy a whole wig because I was like, what? I'm just gonna paint my hair. Who cares? Whatever. So that is the very last step that I did, and that is my finished Immortan gel makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys love it, or like it at least. I really like Mad Max. It's a really awesome movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's really cool. So I just wanted to do a tutorial for him and his face mask because he's kind of cool looking. So if you guys like this video, subscribe. It makes me happy, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye!